Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise mode here in MLB The Show 21. So in last episode, we started up the season simulation and also had the draft, and as you can see, we are 25-25, so right at 500, pretty good record for the most part, and we're second best in our division, only behind the Kansas City Royals, so hopefully we can make the playoffs again this year. Also, our draft was actually pretty good. Now, I went into it completely blind because I didn't look at any prospects before the draft. And, well, we got some pretty good players. Alberto Vargas is not a bad pick. He's going to take a little bit to develop, but he's probably going to make the MLB sometime when he's like, I don't know, maybe 23, 24. He's a good contact hitter. Pretty much that's it. So, yeah, he's decent enough, I guess you could say. He could be a good bench option if we want to use him as a bench option. We also got Kendrick Cruz, who's pretty solid, I would say, for the most part. A 61 is a little bit low for a 20-year-old, but he does have the potential to becoming a good player. And, yeah, he definitely needs to work on his hitting and stuff like that because, yeah, his hitting is abysmal right now. Like, it's way below average. But he seems to be a solid defensive player, so that's pretty good. Then we also got Juan Ramirez, who looks like a pretty good pick, even though he is 22. So he is going to be a little bit of an older closer. We might end up using him as like a setup guy in the future. We also got Matthew McGrath, who looks like a pretty good starting pitcher prospect for us. Very excited to see how he develops. We also got Elvis McLeod, who's not great, but not terrible either, as a relief pitcher prospect. We got Ray Sierra, who's another good starting pitcher prospect for the most part. And then this pick was not that good at all, and Scott Barron. So I think we had a pretty good draft for the most part. I'm not going to actually sign Scott Barron because we already have a lot of right fielding prospects. And this guy's a 54 at 23. So, yeah, this guy wouldn't even make it to like the 70 overall range probably by the time he gets to like 28. So, and he doesn't really have great attributes. So we're not going to sign that guy. But everybody else pretty much has their contract given to them already. So that is good news. Now, we did also suffer some injuries in last episode, which are going to probably set us back in terms of how we simulate the rest of the season. As you can see, well, Michael Fulmer was playing in AA, I think, or AAA. He's out 2 to 3 weeks, but Willie Castro, the big injury, had torn his Achilles tendon, and he's out 5 to 6 months, which is a terrible injury. Now, he had a really good year last year. He came back this year, not off to a great start, I would say, but he did have a good OPS and whatnot. But, yeah, that's a very big loss to lose him for 5 to 6 months. Like, that could very much hurt his career, touring his Achilles at 30 years old. So, hopefully, he has a really good rehab process because, man, that's a very big injury to lose. Like, we're going to have to be playing Garcia instead, which is a little bit worse of an overall. But, yeah. Anyways, on that front. And then we also suffered an injury to Gerald Martin, who had shoulder separation, which is not good. His first major league injury. He was off to a fantastic start as well. He probably will return in the next 1 to 2 months. So hopefully he's healthy and ready to go by then, and hopefully he doesn't have any shoulder problems down the rest of his career, because if he does, that's not a good thing for a pitcher, especially because obviously they throw with the arm. So it's probably one of his throwing arm, I would assume. I don't know which arm it is, but so yeah, anyways, that's a little bit of an update on the injury front, but yeah, that's pretty much that. I was asking you guys about maybe potentially making some sort of like adjustments and stuff like that to those injuries, and I really didn't think of anything, so I just adjusted our starting rotation a bit. So David Jordan's actually going to be a starter now. He was used as a reliever before, so he's going to be in our rotation. That should help out a little bit. At least we got like good depth in terms of our pitching. And then also with the injury to Castro, I did put in Garcia in all the spots where Castro was, so hopefully he is good to go there. And then we also actually did make an adjustment that you guys would have saw, where I would have added another player to our team, because I called up another player, and I think I called up Bronson Bonner, if I'm not mistaken. So anyways, that's that, and yeah, let's continue to simulate up to the All-Star week and see if this team can play good without those players, because those are some pretty big injuries to suffer. And yeah, our team has been not as good since the injuries have happened, but we are still winning some games, which is pretty good. So yeah, let's sim up to All-Star week, and hopefully we can get some more wins and maybe stay around 500 or go above 500 if necessary. Okay, let's sim up and see what happens. So let's get some wins, boys. We do lose 2 wins in our games in a row, And let's auto-fix our AAA lineup. We are offered a trade from the Rockies. They're offering us Irving Roderick, who's a third baseman, for Sammy Chavez. Sammy Chavez is one of our better closing pitcher prospects, so I believe, right? He might not be that great of a potential prospect. We do already have Rodrigo Messias. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to trade away a prospect, though. This Roderick guy's in 76 at 25. That's not too bad. Has some decent contact hitting. His power against lefties isn't that bad either. 2 out of 3 minor league options used. I can't see where this guy would slot into our lineup is the only thing. But that's not a bad player to offer me, considering we do have a decent amount of closers. And he does seem like he's on a little bit on the outside. Yeah, because Morales is already a good overall. Messias is already a good overall and has better potential. A little bit older, though. That's the only thing. I'm not going to do that trade, but yeah. We do beat Tampa Bay 9-3. That's good. That was an interesting offer, though. We are 26 and 29 now. Hopefully our team could keep it together with these injuries, because these injuries probably will make us miss the playoffs, I would assume, if they continue to hurt us like that. We did suffer more injuries since last looking, and it's to 2 right fielding prospects in AAA, and that is Kiki McKenna, who broke his forearm out 1 to 2 months. Jeez. We're going to have to add him to 60-day IL as well. And George Veras had an ACL sprain. He's out 1 to 2 weeks. So we are getting a lot of injuries this year, and that is not good. Kiki McKenna is one of our better prospects as well down there in AAA. Let's continue to simulate, even though we've not been that great since those injuries. We're winning a couple games. Oh, there's a good winning streak. That might help us a lot. Yeah, we're winning a lot of games. Maybe somebody actually came back from injury. Let's continue to simulate. We're losing a lot of games now, but we're coming back with some wins. Yeah, this is a very streaky team. We're getting offered a trade from the Pirates now. So they're offering us Josh Lowe for 3 of our prospects. Who is Josh Lowe? I think he's a real player, if I'm not mistaken. 82 overall, 28. We don't really need a center fielder, though. Even though this guy is batting really good this year. Giving up guys like Chuck Rush, who is our worst closing pitcher, I think that's fine. And then starting pitcher-wise, giving up Scott James makes sense as well. Yeah, that does make sense as well. Mark Sullivan's the better prospect out of the bunch, though, that I don't really want to part with. Yeah, I'm not going to do this deal once again. Thanks for the offer, though, Pittsburgh. How are we in terms of the standings? We are 45 and 45, so we managed to come back to 500, but we are still well below the Twins and the Royals. Let me take a quick look at the standings injured list for a second, though. Grubb was injured, but he's back. So the only injury right now is still Castro and Gerald Martin. Martin's out for 1 to 6 more days, and then Castro is out for 4 to 5 months still. Yeah, Castro is out the rest of the year. We can't even bring Castro back at all. Even in the playoffs, he won't come back. That's a major injury. I'm surprised our team's actually staying around 500. If we look, though, at the standings, let me take a look at that. Where do we look again? Stats, statistics. No, not statistics. Standings. In terms of the wild card, we are 5.5 games back of the Twins. There's a good chance we miss, even if we have an above 500 record, just because the Twins are killing it this year in our division. Like, we could always catch up to them, but it's going to be taking a lot of work probably too. Let's continue to sim to All-Star Week. And there's a loss and a win, and we got one more game before the actual thing. We're 46 and 45 now, which is pretty good. Yeah, I think those injuries are going to derail our chances, probably, I would assume. Let's take a look at our player stats going into the All-Star Week just quickly. So, Casey Mize is having a good year. Scooble's having a good year. Chauncey, pretty good year, I think, for the most part. If we take a look at his FIP is 475. Yeah, he's been decent, I would say. Not fantastic, but decent. Matt Manning's been terrible, but it seems like he's picking it up again, because he was off to a really bad start, but he seems to be getting better. David Jordan, not too bad of his stats as well. Let's take a look at his FIP rating. Yeah, he's been solid, I think. Gerald Martin's still injured, which really sucks. Just scroll through the rest of this. Looks like a lot of our pitcher prospects aren't doing that great right now. Relief pitcher-wise, Joe Green is really good as a reliever. Daniel Norris, solid. We don't have actually a lot of full-on relievers. Closing pitcher-wise, Diego Corona has been really good. How much saves does he have? He has 16 saves in 29 games. Not too bad. We go to our catchers. Reitz, Hirsch have been really good. Yeah, Hirsch and Bonner both seem to be getting on base a lot. Like, Bonner's played way less games. Actually, no, he's played more games. But both him and Hirsch have got some pretty good batting averages. Bonner's getting a lot of RBIs. So that's good to see. Colvin's sitting at 259. Valdez is getting back to his normal strength. It seems like 15 home runs and 54 RBIs, which is good. What else we got here? Brujan's not having a great year, hitting at 218. Cortez has been really good, hitting at 314 off the bench. Paradis is struggling again like he was last year. Candelario's doing really good. Willie Castro's injured. Garcia's been pretty good since Castro's been injured. What else we got here? Packard's been pretty good. Hera's been pretty good. Victor Reyes has been pretty good. What else we got? Pierre Montenegro is really struggling, which kind of sucks because this guy was a Rule 5 pickup. And Felix Pereira has been really good, hitting a 319. Yeah, this guy's definitely going to stay on our team, I think, for years to come. Okay, let's continue to simulate. Let's actually go a day ahead so we can see who makes the All-Star game. We do win that game going into the All-Star break. And in the Home Run Derby, who is in there this year? So none of our players, just Trout, Happ, Rios, Harper, Gallo, Riley, Alvarez, and Betts. Interesting. And let's sim through that. And in the actual All-Star game, let's take a look at who is in the All-Star game. See if there's anybody that plays for us. There probably will be at least one. So in terms of pitchers, Casey Mize made it. So good to see Casey getting into the All-Star game because I think he hadn't made it yet. Maybe he had. Diego Corona also making it as a closing pitcher. So we do have 2 pitcher representatives, so that's good to see. And then in terms of batting wise, I don't think we're going to have much if we do. Yeah, I don't see anybody. Yep, we had no batters, it looks like to me. I could be blind again because I was blind last year at this time, but okay, so that is the All-Star team. So we only had 2 players, Corona and Mize. Corona making his first All-Star game. Let's continue to simulate to trade deadline prep. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be making much trades throughout this franchise mode, but who knows. So there you go, simulate again. And we win a couple games in a row. That's a good sign. We're 49 and 46. Yeah, it's going to be really tough to catch up to the Twins. I mean, we could always. I don't think we're going to catch up to the Royals, so the Twins are something we need to catch up to. We actually have the second best pitching, apparently, which is really good, obviously. Let's go to transactions. Let me just make sure everything is good on that front. Okay. Let me just make sure. Is Gerald Martin back? Yeah, Gerald Martin is back, which is huge news. Let's go to our pitching rotation. Change Gerald Martin and David Jordan around. Yeah, do something like that. That will work good. And let me just go to our injuries. Again, I think, yeah, Castro's still out 3 to 4 months, obviously. And Kiki's still out in triple. Let's simulate to actually contract extensions. We should probably get some of this stuff done. Yeah, we'll get some of this stuff done. So Diego Corona. I'll give you 2 years. Give you a little bit less. 5 mil? Tiny bit more. 5.3. There you go. Skubal has been one of our better pitchers. He probably wants a lot of money. Yeah, he does. I'm going to wait on him for now. Those guys are arbitration eligible, but I do need to get Chauncey back. Yeah, we'll give him 2 years at whatever the lowest I can give him is, which is going to be probably 26 million. Nice. David Jordan, that works for me as well. Oh, 2.6, yeah, 2.2, that works for me as well. A lot of these other guys I'm going to wait on, I think. No, let's go 2 years. Go way low so we can save a little bit of money. 940K, that works for me. Charlie Selby probably will be in our rotation at some point. 1.5. Damn, Chad Hirsch and stuff like that are wanting a lot of money as well. Felix Pereira needs a contract extension, I think, for sure. We go to 2 years. Talk him down a little bit. But yeah, I think our team is going to be good again next year as long as we can stay healthy, because we've had some injury troubles over the last few years. 2 years at 290K. Perfect. Pierre's been really struggling this year, though, even though he's a good contact hitter and stuff like that. Like, hitting a 158 average and a 406 OPS is not good. Let's get Bonson Bonner back. We'll leave Fulmer and all that stuff for now. Chad Hirsch, though, since he's probably going to be our starting catcher. Now let's give him a 2-year deal for now. Give him 1.8. And then everybody else I could wait on for now. Scooble is going to be the most expensive one that we got to get back. Okay, let's continue to simulate. Let's see if this team can get back into the playoff hunt. Like maybe Gerald Martin will help us out. Yeah, let's stop simulating for a second so I can see the standings. We are 54 and 48. We're just outside actually of getting to that where the Twins are. So we are getting close, which is good. Gerald Martin's probably helping us out. Standings wise, in terms of wild card, we are 1 game back now of the wild card game, as we are chasing the Blue Jays and the Twins. So we are very close to getting into the wild card game at least, even though we've suffered some major injuries. So that's very impressive to see. Let's continue to simulate a little bit more. Hopefully this team can make it. There's another win. We're 55 and 48 now. Let's get some little updates. There you go. What is that notification for? I honestly have no idea what that notification's for. And it's just staying there. And it's kind of annoying. Let's check. Yeah, it looks like it's just a random notification. We'll just continue to simulate then, I guess. How are we in terms of like team stats right now? Team rankings. I just want to see where we are near the top. Like it must be like ERA or something that we're near the top of. Stolen bases, we're number 1. That's neat to see. We're also first in strikeouts, so we don't strike out that often at all. We have 48 less strikeouts than the Twins do. So at least we get on base. Grounded into double play. Well, putouts were first, so we're actually a good fielding team as well, which makes sense. ERA wise, we are the 4th best ERA, only behind the Twins, the Red Sox, and the Nationals. So yeah, we're a good pitching team even with that injury we had to Gerald Martin. So I'll just briefly go through that. Let's continue to simulate. I see no use to making a trade because I think this team could just barely make it into the wild card. Did I stop simulating again? I think I did. Come on, boys. There's an 8-7 win. There's another win. Let's auto-fix Double A's rotation. Yep, we're winning a lot of games down the stretch. We're also losing some, but I think our team is going to make the playoffs. What do we got so far? Yep, we're 70 and 59. We are in a wildcard spot, I think, now. Let me get rid of these notifications because they are pretty obnoxious sometimes. There you go. Injured list. There was a new injured player, and that was Matt Manny, but he's back already. That's good. Damian Rodriguez suffered a head fracture. Yikes. 5 to 6 months. Well, that starting pitcher prospect is probably like, that's not good. He probably got hit by a ball in the face or something. Because he's a starting pitcher. He probably like threw the ball and then got the ball knocked right back into his face. Jeez. Hopefully that guy's okay. Jeez. We're suffering some pretty long injuries this year. And let me take a look at the standings quickly because I'm kind of curious on where we are. We are second best in our division, well ahead of the Twins now, so the Twins fell off a little bit, and we are in the first wildcard spot. There's a chance we could actually catch up to the Royals, but I don't know if that's going to happen, so we might make it to the wildcard game. Let's continue to simulate 2 September call-ups. There's a loss, not that it really matters that much, it's just one loss, but it's that. What is that? September call-ups. I don't really know who we want to call up for September call-ups. We'd have to call up 2 players. I should probably do this on my own, so I should probably call up some players. We might as well just call the best overall players that are in AAA. Which in that sense, I think we got to call up Moreno. And then we'll also call up... yeah, we'll call up Dennis Tucker. Because Dennis Tucker deserves an opportunity to play here down the stretch. Let's just do that. Let's go to the 21st, simulate through these days. Let's auto-fix those rotations. Dropping a little bit too much games lately. I don't really like that. Let's stop simulating. Yep, we are now not in that wildcard spot. We're behind the Twins. God damn it, Minnesota. Why do you gotta be a douche? If we literally just barely missed the playoffs because of that stretch, that's not good. Standings. Yeah, we're 1.5 games back of the wild card now. Come on, boys. What is not happening? Let me go to my pitching rotation. Reset this a little bit. Gerald Martin is in a good spot. Chauncey's going to go below Gerald for now. That's good on its own. That's good. Reliever-wise is good as well. Damn, Dennis Tucker got lit up. Gerson Moreno also got lit up. That's not good. Let's continue to simulate, see if we can get into these playoffs just barely. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. I feel like we're just barely going to miss because we're really struggling now down the stretch. We're 77 and 74. Yeah, there's a good chance we're just going to barely miss the playoffs because of this month. Yeah, we're 3 games back of the Twins now. We're going to probably miss the playoffs unless we win all these games down the stretch. And then they lose a decent amount. Let's zoom to the second. There's a couple more losses and some wins. I don't think we're really making up much ground though. Yeah, we're 3 games back now. The Angels are also up there. Blue Jays have already clinched a wild card spot. So whoever wins this will be playing the Blue Jays. We played the Blue Jays last year and they beat us, so I think regardless if we even get in, we're going to end up losing. But yeah, this is not good. 6 games left. Let's go through this series against the White Sox. We win that game, which is good. Apparently we have an important message. Hopefully it's not another injury. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's no important message. I hate when it says it's an important message and it's not really. Simulate through these 2 days, we win another and we lose one. Yeah, we're literally just barely gonna miss. 4 games back and we only have like 3 games left, so we can't make it now. Yep, we can't make it. The Blue Jays and the Twins are gonna be in the wild card game and we just barely miss out on the playoffs. Probably because of those injuries, I don't know. Let's get those last 3 games done and then we'll take a look at our player stats. We win 2 and we lose 1. Well, we finished 84 and 78, but our division is very tough. Very tough. 3 teams above 500. That sucks that we missed after last year being in the playoffs, but let's take a look at our final stats for the season, and then I think that'll be pretty much it. But actually, we might take a look at who ends up winning the World Series, or we might wait till next episode. But we finished 4 games back of that wildcard game. But we finished 4 games back of that wildcard game, so not too bad. Really sucks that we just barely missed. We lost by 4 wins. Huh. Yeah, it really sucks. And we were not that great going into our last 10 games either. Huh. We are better on the road than on home, which is a little weird. So there you go on that front. Let's take a look at the player. Actually, we'll take a look at the league leaders first. So let's take a look and see if there's any of our guys up there. So Garcia was up there in batting average, which is good to see. Anything else interesting to bring up? What else we got here? Victor Reyes was up there in stolen bases. What else we got here? Yeah, I think we didn't have a good batting year, it seems like. For the most part, at least. ERA-wise, do we have anybody up there? Nope. Shutout-wise, though, Casey Mize was number 1 with 2 shutouts. Tied with Adrian Moron and Jesus Luzardo. Strikeout-wise, Casey Mize was up there, which is kind of surprising. Well, not really, but complete games, Casey Mize was up there. Not really much up there for us in general, which kind of sucks. Batting war, our pitching war, Tarek Skubal was our best pitcher this year, and then Casey Mize was right behind him. So that's that on that front. Let's take a look at our player stats for the season. And we'll also take a look at the depth chart and team stats, and I think that'll be pretty much it. So Chauncey had a solid year, I would say. 14-12 is not a bad record, obviously. 4.18 ERA. Don't really like that, but a 1.17 whip is pretty solid. Let's see. His FIP rating was a 455. Yeah, his FIP rating is never really that great. But at least he has a 57-55 record in his career, and he's almost pitched 1,000 innings now in the MLB. Casey Mize had a really good year. Tarek Skubal also having a really solid year. The whip is a little bit higher up, but still really good. David Jordan had a pretty good, first, I guess, well, not really a first full season, but first playing starter, actually, he was pretty good, I guess, and then reliever for a little bit. His whip is pretty good. Matt Manning really picked it up near the end of the season. He started off really horribly, but definitely played a lot better down the stretch, it seems like. And then Selby wasn't great, but he was 8-1, which is pretty crazy. Maybe his FIP rating is better. Yeah, his FIP rating is actually better than his ERA. So, Charlie Selby is a beast, I think. He's 8-1 though last year, which is great. And Gerald Martin 11-6, 389, 121. Pretty good. Yeah, good year again from Gerald Martin, I think, for the most part. He's 39-29 in his career, so he wins a lot of games. And Dennis Tucker played a little bit. He won his first game, but he was a little bit struggling when he did play. He'll probably be in our lineup fully next year. And Wentz was pretty good, and that's on that front. Relief pitcher-wise, Joe Green was pretty good. Gerson Moreno was not that great when he did come up. Well, actually, maybe he was okay. I don't know. Daniel Norris, decent stats. That's it for relievers. Diego Corona was fantastic as a closer with that .99 whip and a 2.06 ERA. Yeah, so Diego Corona is definitely going to want a lot of money in a few years. 93 overall at 25 as well. Yeah, really good year for Diego Corona. He might end up being one of the relievers of the year. I don't know. Chad Hirsch had a really good first season, hitting a 289. Jackson Reitz, 237. When's his contract end? 2 years. We might have to flip away Jackson Reitz, because I might have to run Hirsch and Bonner next year. Yeah, I think that might be the case. First baseman wise, Colvin was hitting a 270, hit 24 home runs and 81 RBIs, so pretty good season from Conrad Colvin. Obviously last year he suffered an injury, and we missed him for the playoffs, but he came back and played pretty good this year. Fernando Valdez, 25 home runs and 89 RBIs, hitting at 235. So his batting average is a little bit worse than Colvin, obviously, but the steals, the RBIs, and the home runs are all better. Just the runs scored aren't. What else we got here? Second baseman wise, Brujan, not a bad year. Some good RBI wise. Cortez was really good off the bench, hitting a 304. We should really get him into our starting lineup instead of Brujan, I think. What else we got here? Paradis really struggled again. I think Paradis is going to go to free agency probably this offseason. Because, yeah, he's really struggled the last 2 years. He had a 158 and a 185. And his OPS has not been good at all either. So, yeah, I think Paradis is going to leave. Candelario is still dropping off. He's down to a 78 overall. But he did have a good year this year. His contract is for one more season. We don't know about Carmen Nunez as our prospect-wise. Castro obviously missed the entire year pretty much. Garcia hitting a 290 is really good. Maybe we don't really need Castro because now Garcia's as good overall wise as him. So maybe we don't need Willie Castro. We could trade him away. He's only got 1 year left. Left fielding wise, pretty solid year from Brian Packard, hitting 20 home runs and 77 RBIs. Gary Hara had 14 home runs and 60 RBIs this year. Really good season from Gary Hara. He's up to an 88. So that's really good to see. Yeah, really good season from Gary Hara. His best probably of his career because the first year doesn't really count that much. Nice. Center fielding rise, Victor Reyes had a pretty solid year as well. And then in terms of the right fielding guys that we got in the Rule 5 draft, one of them struggled and one of them was actually really good. So I think Felix Pereira is going to be probably one of our starting right fielders next season. While Pierre Montenegro, I think I might let him go. Because that batting average is not good. That OPS isn't that good either. And we do have guys like Sid Felch and George Veras who could end up playing like second instead. Yeah, playing behind him instead. So that is our player stats. Let's take a quick look at our team stats, I think. Yeah, team stats as well. And we'll take a look at the awards and stuff like that as well. So player statistics. No, that's not what I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to team rankings. So in terms of batting average for our team, we were the 15th best batting average wise, so we could definitely improve on that front. But it wasn't really by that much, so runs, yeah, we need to score more runs. 16th in runs, or is that runs allowed? I don't know. Hits wise, we were tied for 10th in hits, not too bad. Doubles, we were probably up there, I would assume, because we do have faster guys. Maybe not. 21st in doubles. Triples, we are 9th, not too bad. Home run wise, we are probably pretty low. Yeah, we don't score enough home runs. We're 29th in the MLB. Yeah, it's not enough home runs. Need to get some more power, guys. It seems like. What else we got here? Stolen bases, we are number 1, which is good to see. Strikeouts, we are also number 1. What else we got here? Granted, the double plays doesn't really matter. Fielding percentage, we are probably up there. Because we had some really good outfielders, but I could be wrong. Nope, we were not that great actually. A 990. ERA wise, we were 7th best in the MLB. But we still missed the playoffs. Complete game, we were 1st. And I think that's almost it. Yeah, that's pretty much that on that front. Let's take a look at the awards briefly. Just to see if there's any award stuff. Did this update already? Yeah, these are who's leading currently, but more than likely these are the guys who are going to win. Do we have anybody up there for any awards potentially? Luis Garcia was up there for Rookie of the Year, but he's probably not going to get it. Yeah, he's probably not going to get it. Sucks that we aren't going to get the Reliever of the Year because of this bruised R dude in Toronto, but anybody else interesting? Chauncey might be up there for... yeah, he was up there for Golden Glove. It looks like it's going to go to John Park, though. Anybody else? Dal Brujan up there for second base. No awards so far, but I mean our team is still decent. Yeah, it looks like we're not getting nominated for any awards really. Yep. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Tigers franchise mode. So in next episode, we will do the entire off season. And yeah, hopefully we can get our team back to being the playoff team again. Obviously, it sucks that we just barely missed, but I think our team is still set in stone, and then we're going to have a really good team next year. Because if we look at our depth chart going into next year, they also have... Yeah, we're going to get some good development probably from some of our younger guys. Like if we go through all these years... Yeah, we have some good prospects still. Like this team is probably going to be a good team within the next few seasons again still. Like, especially on the pitching front. Like, we're going to have to start making some trades, probably. Getting rid of some of these dudes. So let me know what you guys think down below. And I'll see you guys next time.